Huh? She's done. I came in here because this is the better lighting over in here. What up, G?
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm pretty good, man. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good, bro. Thanks for having me on the show.
Man, thank you for being here. I got my my cohort who is about to come around and bless you with a little something, my brother.
Okay.
Happy belated birthday!
Oh, wow. Thank you.
So what did you do yesterday for your birthday?
Besides quarantine, nothing. I was on my phone all day. I got a lot of love yesterday, so I was really happy with you know, sometimes you don't really reflect on how many people you have in your life until you have a birthday or something. And I got a lot of calls, a lot of messages. It was dope. So I had a great time.
This is my good side over here.
Oh, okay. Oh. You know how these girls be.
Thank you.
My good side over here.
Yeah, so you had to send that to me in the mail or something. I need to see what that tastes like.
You know what? I'll send you a better one, okay? I'll send you a
like
better
she might have made. Did you make them? Look like she made them.
They're pretty good. Mm-hmm.
Yo, you made it from scratch?
No.
Okay. We're going to see what they talk about when I get it. When I taste it, I'll let you know.
Okay. Hold on.
Bro, first let me get this off. Happy birthday, by the way. You are one of the most consistently underrated running backs in the NFL. I mean, bro, you were beastie when you played the Cardinals, the Bucks,
everywhere.
I'm falling short. Who else? What are the other two?
The Bears, the Jets, and the Chiefs. So
the Bears and the Jets.
Yeah, I was everywhere. I couldn't stay put.
Do you miss it?
I don't really miss it, you know, unless I start talking about it. I was talking to my sister yesterday. My nephew plays, and so I was having an intense conversation with my sister, his mom, about football. So when I kind of get into the conversation, I start to kind of get that same energy back. But if I'm not talking about it, I don't think about it. I'm so just into what I'm doing now. And I retired 8 years ago, and now I'm really focused on what I'm doing. So I don't even think about it unless it comes up. But when it comes up, I kind of have a couple flashbacks.
Well, stay focused. I believe you when you say you don't miss it, because I witnessed you maybe about 7-8 years ago. I ran into you at a party in LA. We have some friends in common, some acquaintances, Robbie Reed and CO. We had a party. It was Beyond Sunshine, and you were there. You were one of the guests there. And it's no such thing as guests, because everybody there were friends and friends of friends and people who respected the craft of what each and every other person did. So what I loved about it is, like, even then I saw you focused on the season that you were trying to walk into, that clearly you walked straight into now, because you have a lot going on. You have movement now. Yeah. Another reason why I believe you when you say you are not missing football is Castor. Is it Castor? Tell us about the company that you created, Castor, what it is and why you created it.
So Castor is a mobile app that I created. It's actually a tech company, but we have a mobile app that is geared towards talent in underserved communities, women, people of color, LGBTQ plus communities, because, you know, they're underserved communities. There's not a lot of opportunities for us out there. And I came up with the idea with my co-founder, Scott Powell, about 6 years ago, right before I moved to LA to really start taking acting seriously, because I had an agent in New York, but I didn't have any relationships in LA. And so I was wondering, like, if there was a platform or an app that was for Black people or for, you know, communities like ours, to be able to network with people and find jobs in case you don't have a manager or an agent. And so I didn't see one. So I was like, you know what, I may as well come up with it. I could be the first one to come up with one. And so that's how it started. And so, you know, I took a couple of years to really start focusing on my career and kind of build my resume up. And then we launched it 2 years ago, just in LA. And it's really dope. We're rebranding some stuff right now. We're about to go national in about a month, relaunch. So everyone nationally with an iPhone will be able to download the app. It's a really, really cool app. People are networking. People are booking jobs in our communities, which really, really feels really good.
and people are getting history behind the craft. That's why I know you're serious, because you are dissecting the craft itself and helping others along the way. Tell me something coming into the industry you learned that you perhaps weren't ready for, or you had no clue about the acting world.
I guess I wasn't ready for all the no's. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't ready for all the no's. I mean, you get told no most of the time, regardless of who you are. But, you know, it inspired me to create my own production company because you can't tell yourself no. So me and my producing partner, Deji LeRae, created our production company, Midnight Train Productions. So we have our own TV scripts, our own movie scripts. We actually sold a show. I can't really go into details, but it'll be announced soon, a show that we're show running and executive producing. We have another feature film that we're finalizing some funding for that we'll probably shoot at the end of the year. So, you know, honestly, the no's were positives because it just really pushed me to create my own content and start my own production company.
Made you go harder, huh?
Yeah, it made me go harder, definitely.
I love it. So KG here is a big fan of the new show, P-Valley.
Okay.
P-Valley.
P-Valley, excuse me.
P-Valley.
See,
P-Valley.
I'm just getting put on to what it is. But I know Kay here really enjoys the show. Man. Speaking of Maine. Anybody calling you Maine when they
Everybody, listen, I went to pick up some food the other day. I had a mask and a hat on, and somebody waved me over like, can I come to their table? I'm like, first of all, I'm not coming in here. I'm just getting my food, getting out of here. And so I said, hey, you come over here. So they came over. She was like, my daughter said, your name is Maine. And I was like, I started laughing. And I said, how did she know I was Maine with a mask and a hat on? She's like, I don't know, but she'd like to come over and say hello. So I said, yeah, tell them to come over.
That bill.
So they came over, took a couple pictures from a distance. But it's crazy. People have really taken a liking to the show. People don't call me Thomas anymore. They call me Maine. I just started to answer to it, on social media and in public. But it's a great show. I'm really excited about it. People seem to really, really like the storylines and the writing. It's a dope show. The hottest show on TV, definitely.
Well, for us newbies who haven't been able to catch a series yet, KG has, or an episode, tell us about your character, who he is, and a little bit about him. What do you like about him?
Oh, Maine is he's a really, really country character, probably the most country character on the show, which is dope for me because I get a chance to really have this Southern accent.
We're gonna talk about that too.
I love it. Yeah, it's dope because it gives me a chance to really kind of stretch my legs as an actor and show my range. But Maine is the lead character, Brandy Evans, whose character is Mercedes. He's her next door neighbor, and they have history. They go way back. They're really, really good friends. But he's in the streets. When you first see him in the first episode, he has an ankle monitor on because he's on house arrest. But he still finds ways to move around and still get into some stuff. But yeah, it's a pretty dope character. There's a lot more to Maine that the audience hasn't seen yet that I'm sure Katori will show. Katori Hall, the creator of the show, will show soon. But yeah, it's a great character. I love playing Maine. The response has been great for the show, and people seem to like Maine, which is good.
Man, listen, it's something about like how it's shot and the way that it looks. I'm telling you, like the first scene, episode 1, or at least the scene after the theme song, I was all in, just how it looked with the colors and then just the grit and the dirt. Like, you really know that you in the dirty South. I mean, I ain't never heard of Chucalissa, Mississippi. Like, is that a real city?
I'm not sure if Chucalissa is a real city. It might be. I don't know. I mean, I know
wild. Like, in the complexities of us that it shows. Did you have any, what was your thoughts when you read the script, or like, when it was first approached to you?
I had never read anything like that before. I know Katori, it's based off of a play that Katori Hall created years ago. So it's pretty much based off of a place in Memphis. It's just set in Mississippi. I actually had Patrick Ian Polk, who's an executive producer on the show, reach out to me at like 11 o'clock at night last year, and I was in LA, and he sent me an email and was like, hey, look, we had this role in the show P-Valley. that we would love for you to do. Can you do a Southern accent? And I was like, yeah, I can do a Southern accent. But how Southern? You know, he said, you know, Southern. Like,
you didn't do like Hustle and Flow, because Terrence Howard's accent was killing me.
Yeah, no, yeah. They were like subtitles country, Southern. So I was like, yeah, of course, you know what I mean? So I started looking up some people that were from that area in the South, and started kind of imitating some of their accents, and then sending my self-tape, and they loved me for the role, and they brought me in. A couple of days later, I was in Atlanta filming, and when I first read the first script, I could tell that this was something totally different. But when it really hit me was when I got to set. Because when I got to set, I started looking at all the wardrobe and all these bright colors, and everybody had gold teeth, and I was like, where am I? You know what I'm saying? Like, they really created this world, this Chucalissa, Mississippi world. And when I went to the Pink, I walked in just to kind of see the set, and I walked in the Pink and the lighting, and it just felt like I really walked into another dimension. It was crazy. But the beautiful thing about it is, as an actor, it puts you automatically in that creative space. And then you take on this character and you commit fully to it. And that's what I think people love about the show. It's a world that we haven't seen before. It's a language that we really haven't heard before in mainstream America. The characters are very complex. They're very smart. The writing is
so poetic, bro. Like, some of the lines in this show, I'm like, who comes up with this? Like, y'all, that show has some zingers, some one-line zingers. It's very poetic.
Yeah, it does, and everybody has a smart mouth, which is funny.
Right.
Everybody got something
Especially
smart
Uncle Clifford.
Oh yeah, Uncle Clifford goes in.
When you called her September, October, I about fell out. Because her name is Autumn. Her name is Autumn.
They have, I mean, the writers.
This is an amazing show. I'm glad that y'all got renewed for the second season.
Yeah, season 2 already.
The third episode.
Yeah.
So I love how it shows the real life of strippers. I already had a huge respect for pole dancers and females who do strip. You know, for them to own their power, be it financial power, be it, you know, sexual freedom, be it whatever. Like they their own boss. But watching this, it made my respect go up even higher for women that do that, and especially pole dancing with the athleticism and
it's showing them as human beings, and it's showing them behind the scenes. You know, because people are very judgmental in this world, unfortunately, right? People judge you based off of what you do or how they see you, but there's motivation behind every action. You know what I'm saying? And I think what Katori did with this show, and the creators and the writers of the show, they created a world where these people are respected and you understand why they do what they do. And I think that's very important, you know what I mean? Because now in the world, especially of social media, you know, everybody's judging and it's right there in front of your face. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, sometimes the humanity where the world is right now has been lost in a lot of situations, and they're bringing humanity to a world that seems very inhumane in a lot of ways.
Looked down on.
Exactly. Yeah.
And in reality, there's a lot of power in it. Like, that's what, in reality, if you really look at it, there's a lot of power in that.
Yeah.
But, congratulations on the success, bro. Like,
thank you. Thank you.
I love how people are in the comments. Guys in the comments, if you have questions for Thomas or Maine, I'm calling Maine. You know, in Black community, you can't just give them one.
You got
y'all have questions for Maine.
Thomas Jones. You know what I'm saying? Running back. That's what that is.
Put the question for Maine in the question room, and we'll ask them. I love how one of the listeners, the viewers, just said, that's what happens. This level of writing. That's what happens when you let a Black woman develop characters. The depth of the Black woman is able to infuse that in the characters, how they see the men operating with them and how they see the character of the women, because women have so many layers to us. I love that the lead character, she was another friend that was at the party that time.
Brandy. Brandy.
I don't know if I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know if her choreography is coming through on the set.
She's killing it. But that's what they call it, Black girl magic. You know, there's a lot of Black girl magic on the show. You know,
Yeah.
Katori is brilliant. Her, you know, the way she thinks, the way she writes, the character development, so complex, you know what I mean? And the actors, I mean, Brandy Evans as Mercedes, as the lead, is incredible. I'm so happy and proud for her. She's been working for a long time, and to finally get this opportunity to shine, and she's killing it. Everybody's killing it. I mean, J. Alphonse Nicholson, who plays Lil Murder.
Lil Murder. Oh, Lord of mercy.
Yeah, that's my man. We worked together on an episode of Tales last season with Irv Gotti for BET. Incredible actor. There's just, I mean, and it's a lot of like kind of fresh faces too. I think that's why people really dig it, because there's a lot of fresh faces, and so it gives a new perspective because it's not the usual suspects that you would expect. You know what I mean? And it's such a fresh story with fresh faces that is just popping off the screen, and the energy and the newness of it, people really respect and appreciate. Like I said, I'm just happy to be a part of the show. Me and Brandy have great chemistry, you know, just off screen, you know, we're really close. And then it comes out on screen too with our characters, Mercedes and Maine. There's 2 episodes left, so you gotta get into P Valley. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get caught up.
I'll catch up. I'll binge watch.
You got a week to get caught up for these last 2. So I'm gonna hold you to that, like the cupcakes. I'm gonna hold you to that.
I love it. Let's see. I have a question that dropped in the box. Well, then, Thomas, these are Thomas questions. These aren't even main questions. Thomas, they want to take you to IHOP. You know what? What's your favorite character? Who's your favorite movie character? One that you played and one that you gleaned from their artistry.
My favorite character that I played? Probably it would be between my character on Luke Cage on Netflix.
I knew it. I was thinking in my head. I was like, Comanche. I was like, come on.
Yeah, Comanche was a dope role. That was a pretty complex character. I like playing complex characters with characters that have a lot of depth and backstory. You know what I'm saying? And then I did a film called A Violent Man that's on iTunes, Amazon, and YouTube right now. I executive produced it and starred in it. And I play an MMA fighter that you know, ends up having a one-night stand with a reporter, MMA reporter. And the next morning she's found strangled. No. This is in the trailer. So yeah, this is in the trailer. Trust me, I want you to go see it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. She's found strangled to death, and obviously I was the last person seen with her. It's a thriller. It's a dark indie film, a noir type film. It's on YouTube, Amazon, and iTunes. I really love that character because I had a chance to really go deep and it was and make that character personal in a lot of ways, with just some of you know, my personal football experiences, and there was a lot of dark places from football that I could go to with that character, which you know it's a benefit to playing football. Is sometimes you have to be in these dark mental spaces to be able to be that intense and play that game at that level for that long. But it's a really intense movie. You don't know who did it to the very end. People are always surprised at the end, which is good, and they find out more things.
Somebody just commented that it has a hell of a twist.
Yeah, it's crazy. But it's one of those films you see the second time, you like, oh. You know, it's one of those films.
What is it again, so they can look for A Violent Man.
It's called A Violent Man, and Matthew Berkowitz is the director and the writer, and you know, it was originally written for a white lead, but then when I read the script, you know, I felt like it could be a little more complex if we added some racial subtext into it. So you know, I played the lead, and there's some really, one person actually watched it and invited me to come to Vegas to have a conversation about this movie with a group of Black people, because there was a really interesting dynamic between me and my girlfriend, who's played by Kalila Joy DuBose. And one of the questions is, you know, basically what's the divide between Black men and Black women when it comes to support? And it raised a lot of questions, which is what I wanted.
What was your answer, man?
Huh?
What was your answer?
I have to give that answer when I get out to Vegas. next year. So I'll fill you in then.
I'm gonna have to pull KG over. We just have a quick conversation.
No, but it's an in-depth conversation piece that someone wants to actually do. They actually did a little piece and they posted it, and I reposted it on my page. So it was very interesting. But it's a really cool film. I think people will dig it. Some really good acting. Isak Tabankale is in it. Legendary actor Bruce Davison, Golden Globe winner, is in it. Denise Richards is in it. John Skarloff, Felicia Terrell. It's a really, really great cast. And I'm really proud of that film. But I think that role really made me like go deep, and then it just pushed me forward in all the other projects that I've done. So be between those two.
I'm gonna have to check that out because I love a suspense thriller.
Yeah, it's a pretty dope film. I mean, every time I watch it, it feels kind of like the first time I've watched it, which is always a good thing.
I love folks in the comments. I love reading people's comments. You get to see what the fans really think of you. And clearly, they know how talented you are. They're saying how slept on they believe you have been. But I have a feeling that won't be for long because by design, you're built to do some big things, Thomas. I believe that. KG, you about to
Thank you.
No, I first remember you on screen on my favorite show, one of my other favorite shows, Shameless, back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
And then, popped in here and there. And then remember you on Being Mary Jane. And then, movies, here and there. And now, look at you now, bro.
Chip away.
Was,
after
football was, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was saying, I've been trying to, chip away. The thing about coming from football or a lot of people try to compartmentalize people. I think naturally they do that, they want you to be one-dimensional. And I've just never really been a one-dimensional person. I've always been interested in things outside of football. And coming into this industry was great for me because I've always been a creative person. But football is so time-consuming that you don't have a chance to really, dig into your bag of creativity. And so when I retired, luckily, I was able to find acting and now producing. And then, I had a music label as well. I had a couple of artists that I was managing and working with and producing and stuff. So it all goes hand in hand. And now that's all I do for a living, which is great. I create. And, I was in acting classes for 3.5 years. I studied with Ivana Chubbuck and Franz Turner and Scott Sedita in LA. So I was in class 6 hours a week for 3.5 years when I first moved to LA, which was the best thing I ever could have done because it really helped me transition out of being a football player, emotionally, psychologically. It became kind of therapeutic, acting did, as opposed to just something to do. It became like a necessity.
I can see
and that's why I take it very, very seriously. And the characters that I play, I like to make sure that I'm making them complex. And the characters that I write and create with my producer partner, it's the same thing. So it's been a great transition. I'm really happy about it.
So acting is something that you always wanted to do?
I didn't really see myself acting, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? It just randomly happened. I started working on a project, and the publicist for the project was like, "Hey, you have some raw talent." Because I was bored, to be honest. I was bored. I retired and had nothing else to do.
That story sounds familiar.
So
sounds like you're talking about me, G.
Well, yeah, she pushed me to get an agent, and then that's how I ended up on Shameless. So the first thing that I ever did was Shameless. And I didn't know who Bradley Whitford was. I didn't know who William H. Macy was. I'm playing in the NFL. I'm not watching TV because I'm watching football film.
Right, you're watching film.
You know what I mean? So I didn't know who they were on the set. And I asked William H. Macy, I said, "What else have you been in?" Right? Because I'm in Chicago. We're shooting in Chicago. So all the crew knows me from the Bears.
Right.
So I don't know him, and he started laughing, and he knew me as a Bear. He was a Bears fan, so it was really interesting that once I Googled him, I was like, "Oh, I just asked this dude, what has he been in? This man been in everything." But it was like a little bit of a process for me to kind of get into Hollywood and who's who and who's done what, because I wasn't really into that, but now this is my life, which is really great.
I'm curious. You get bored and you seem like a man who lives in your brain. So what do you do for self-care, or when you are bored, saying you're at home right now, like what do you do different to be creative outside of the scripts and the music? Like what else do you do for yourself?
I think, I've always been a very dedicated person and committed person. And sometimes that's the gift and the curse, because you might miss out on other potential opportunities because you're so laser focused. But to be honest, right now, it's still new to me. Hollywood, acting, producing, creating. I have another show that we're shopping to a network right now on top of the other show that we have picked up. It's a new life for me, you know, finding finding acting and being in Hollywood and creating with new people has been just like therapy. You know what I'm saying? And so every time I talk to my producing partner about a new script, or I'm trying to raise funding, or, you know, I'm talking to my partners about cast star and strategic partnerships, it's just something that I've never really had a chance to explore in my life because of football. I started playing when I was 8. I retired at 33, you know. So, you know, I'm 42 yesterday. So, I mean, you're talking about, you know, a couple of years, 9 years of my life where I'm finally able to, like, be somebody besides a football player. And that part feels good right now. So I haven't really gotten to the point where I want to do anything else but this, but I'm pretty sure it'll come soon. So I guess I'll figure it out then.
You're going to master. Before you move on, you're going to master the craft.
I have to. I have to. I have to.
Oh, no, I'm done. I feel like we've taken up enough of this man's time. About 30 minutes.
No, this is dope, man. This is a great show. I really appreciate you guys bringing me on.
Man, we're happy to have you on. We're rooting for you. I'm gonna go catch up on the craft so I'll know how you're doing. I'm gonna talk about
it in front of Kenzo.
I can't. Yeah. I knew about the title. I couldn't watch it in front of the little people. But I'm gonna talk about your accent. If it's not on point, I'm gonna just hit you. Listen, man.
Yeah, you gotta
listen.
You gotta call me out if it's listening.
I'm gonna call you out, like, bro.
If you gotta call me out, so hopefully you'll. I hope you don't understand what I'm saying, because most of the people from that area, you don't understand what they said anyway. So we'll see what happens.
We love it.
No doubt.
Well, everyone, please tune in. Go follow Thomas. I keep wanting to call him Maine now. That's so bad. Go follow Thomas if you're not already following him. Keep up with what he's doing, what he has coming, and how he's supporting other artists in the craft. If you are an actor or interested in learning, his page really helps you find your direction going forward in the craft. So kudos to you, Thomas. Keep going.
Thank you.
I'm about to download the app. I'm going to check out A Violent Man, because I love, you know, when we create our own, I like to support. So I'm definitely
Thank you.
to do that.
Thank you.
For sure.
I really appreciate
check out
it.
P-Valley, everybody. We only got 2 episodes left. Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central on Stars. I'm telling you, best show on TV, hands down.
Best show
so many
on
people
TV.
about this show, man. I don't mean to call you man, like your character, man.
That's a compliment.
Yeah, it's a
That
term.
is a compliment, man. That's a compliment, because to be honest, when I go out, I either get Maine now, or I would get Comanche, or I would get Cuddy Buddy, or a line I said in Straight Outta Compton, have a good night, Jerry. But that's like the biggest compliment. You know, my acting coach said imitation is the best form of flattery. So it means you're doing something right. So yeah, keep calling me Maine. I appreciate it.
For sure, man. Thomas Q Jones, man. Follow him on Instagram, Thomas Jones RB. Thomas Q Jones on Twitter, right?
Yes, Thomas Q Jones. Yes.
On Twitter, yeah. P-Valley, Sundays, 7, 8, depending on where you live.
8 p.m. Eastern time.
8 p.m. Eastern.
Now we're off
Central.
We have they're skipping a week. So they're skipping a week, so it won't be on this week, but it'll be on next week. Yeah, they got a bye week. Yeah, I see you with the football terminal. I see you.
All right.
Why do stars be doing that, bro? Why stars do that?
So they can make.
They do that to Power too. Like it'll be going, and then they'll have a bye week. And like,
yeah, because they want you to suffer another week and build up that tension.
Yeah.
Because episode 6 is going to be worth the wait. Trust me.
All right.
I mean,
all right,
7.
and I'm glad that you gave me that little backstory that Maine and Mercedes had history, because when y'all flirting with each other, I'm like, dang, like they flirting hard, but you just told me like y'all got a little history.
Yeah,
so I'm looking forward to seeing what that story is.
Katori got some tricks up her sleeve for y'all, so be sure to tune in the next episode, episode 7 and 8. Which is the next 2 for the finale is 8. But
and I hope they make season 2 10 instead of 8.
She got some tricks up her sleeve for y'all. Make sure y'all tune in.
All right. I see Katrina putting it. You can watch it on the Stars app and on demand. So if you're wondering how to get it, that's how you can get it. The app
on Stars app or on demand. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you again, Thomas.
Thank you.
Man,
thank you for the cupcakes. I can't wait to taste those.
Much success, man.
All
All right.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Appreciate it. Thank you.